clicked on this video, then you might be in a situation where you are working so hard, where you are studying so much for so many hours, giving your days and nights, but then to end up scoring less in your exams. This is because you are studying directionless, without planning your subjects, without scheduling your tasks, and therefore you end up being confused, and so you score less in your exams. Hello, I'm Arpita and I'm here to share some of my study tips which will help you solve all the problems you are struggling with and will help you boost your marks if you follow them. So take a pen and a paper and write all the steps down so that you don't forget or miss any of them. So the first tip is divide your topics into two columns. The first column consists of topics which are easy and which are doable, and second column consists of topics which are difficult and more focusing. Once you do this, you have a clear idea on what topics you need to focus more and what topics are easy for you which you can do afterwards. So once you do this, your mind feels relaxed and you feel confident that there are very less topics you need to master and there are topics which you have good grasp on. Second tip is plan your route. Once you have divided your topics into easy and difficult ones, now it's time to plan them properly. Since you already know that what you know and what you need to know, it is very easy for you to plan and feel less confused and more organized. For example, the topics which are written in difficult and most focusing column, you have to keep those topics on top of your route and provide appropriate time to them. Let's take you have 20 days for completing all those topics. So you have to dedicate 13 days for completing the difficult ones and 5 days for completing the easy and doable ones. Remaining 2 days will be dedicated for doing revision. Now since you know and you have a very clear plan on how you will do all those topics and how you will complete them, it's time for you to take action. The third tip is don't count time, count targets. So you might be thinking that what the tip is about or it is something related to making a timetable, but no. Sort of related making a timetable, but it is not making a timetable. Well, let me explain. We have already planned that how those 20 days we will spend and how we will do all these topics in those 20 days. But there is a requirement of planning each day. Well, most of us make mistake here. We start making a very strict timetable, allocating particular time for that particular topic. And sometimes it happens that we are not able to complete that particular topic in that particular time. And therefore we feel that our whole day gets wasted. And thereby we destroy all our timetable, all our plans, and therefore creating a backlog. To overcome this, you have to divide all your 18 days task into everyday target. To do this, you no need to make a timetable. Instead, make a target list for every day and make sure that you complete each and every target on that day itself. So, after completing your target, you have to tick mark the target. And if you are not able to complete any of the target of that day, you have to make a cross in front of that. And while making a target list, make sure one thing that you don't distress yourself too much by keeping so many targets together in one day, which is practically impossible for you to complete. I recommend you to keep at least 5 topics. You can keep less than that, but not more than 5 topics because practically it is impossible for you to complete 5 topics or more than 5 topics in one day. Making a target list is one way of tracking your day, but you need something which can keep a track of your whole 20 days progress. This brings me to my fourth tip, which says make a progress sheet. Progress sheet is something which will tell you that you haven't wasted any day or you haven't procrastinated on any day, and if you did so, you have to cross on that day. And when you see it next time, you will feel guilty for wasting that one precious day where you could have finished one topic. But yes, do make a progress sheet because this one sheet will help you use your 20 days wisely with no fails. Do remember that 20 days I took just for reference or just for example to explain my tips. You may have days more than that, you may count days till your exam. If you have made it till here, then do hit that like button and consider subscribing to the channel for more such educational videos. Here are my 3 secret tips which will help you boost your marks. Now, fifth tip is prepare a small diary. Take a small pocket diary and write all the topics in that diary which you tend to forget or which are difficult for you to remember. You have to write only the heading of the particular topic in that pocket diary. Keep this pocket diary with you so that whenever you get free time, go through the topic and try to recall everything you read about the topic. If you fail to recall anything, then go to the notes once again and write all the key points you tend to forget every time. Whenever you revise it next time, you go through all the key points and recall everything about it and never forgetting it in future. This technique will help you getting rid of the habit of forgetting things. So the next step is making question out of question. Confusing, right? And you might haven't got my point? Well, let me explain. So, whenever you are reading your book or your notes, you have to read it like a teacher. You always think what questions you must have framed from that particular para if you have been a teacher. Write all the questions you framed in the book itself aside that paragraph. And whenever you pick your notes or books next time, you have to go through the questions only and not the whole paragraph. Sometimes, while writing your exam, this thing happens that you are solving a question which is something twisted, or it is a replica of a question you saw in your book or in your notes, but you are not getting how to solve that question at that particular moment. This is because you didn't practice that particular question in every way possible. So for this, what you have to do is, whenever you are learning or solving a question, you have to turn and twist that question in every way possible. This will train your brain to solve any question easily. You can also Google down the question or the topic and find more replicas or more forms which can be made or which can be formed from that particular topic. So this is the technique you can use to master the topic and ace in your exams. So my last tip is something which everyone suggests, but it is very crucial and very important. Solve PYQs as many you can. Solving PYQs helps us to know that what things are important and what things we need to focus more on. So next time whenever you solve the PYQs, use step number 6 and tada, you are ready for your exams. These 7 tips will help you score better in your exams if you follow them wisely. So yes, do follow the tips. If you made it till here, then consider subscribing for more such educational study tips and study vlogs related videos.